Is this the end of Bitcoin? Bitcoin has just dumped down to 60k. Who would have thought? How much deeper are we going to go? Or is this already the end of the bloodbath? Let us have a look at it from a volume point of view. Hello and welcome to my channel stb.trading. My name is David. Let's right jump into the charts and check what volume can potentially tell us about Bitcoin's next move. Alright, so we had Bitcoin dumping down from over 100k and then finding some balance somewhere in this region between 70k and 80k. And what we saw in the last couple of months was Bitcoin just slowly drifting higher, as I have here the volume profile, which are the monthly profiles, and all the value areas as well as the VPOC is slowly shifting higher. So the white lines are the value areas and then the red line is the VPOC. And we can see for every month it just went a bit higher. Only last week we had a new monthly profile opening over here, and we can see that this profile is an extremely trending profile. So bearish, so to say. And here we could see for the first time that it was slowly shifting lower again. First of all, our value area is shifting lower, and also our VPOC, our volume point of control, where the most volume was traded. So we can see that clearly our downtrend is still intact. We made a low over here, then went up, made a high, and now we are going to make a first lower low. Yesterday it even dumped down almost to 60k. As we have stayed in this range here for quite some time, I wouldn't be too surprised if we potentially could see another bounce back, retest, and then finally continue to go lower. But we could also directly continue to push lower. I think it also really depends on what the stock market is going to do, as the S&P 500 and Nasdaq also saw quite some sell-off last week. But let's have a look at another chart from a wider point of view. So here we have now the Bitcoin chart from the last bull run, and where we went all the way up to over 120k, and ever since we are just dumping down. So the range that we were just discussing was this range over here. Now I have on the right side the volume that was traded. So what does this tell us? So we can clearly see that we had a few areas, for example here and here, where we had elevated volume, which just means that more trading was happening than in the other areas. And if we go to the left to our chart, just approximately, I know I'm not drawing too nicely, but anyhow, we can definitely see that more trading was happening in this range here. And just now we also entered into such a area over here. Even over here, if we draw roughly a zone approximately, we can just clearly see that here was a lot of trading happening when Bitcoin was just in its uptrend and then broke out to make new all-time highs. Now, there was an attempt to break out again as we were in this range. However, the attempt failed, as you can see. And usually when that happens, a lot of times this means that the price will trade through such areas. So I think right now it is just very important to watch what Bitcoin is going to do. And it is at a very critical point in my opinion. Because if we break down from this range over here, this could potentially mean that we maybe even go lower. So, but of course, as we also have seen over here, we first had a lot of massive spikes. For example, here we had a massive spike to the downside, which directly got bought up again. And of course, there is also the potential that this could happen this time. So a lot of times there could always be maybe a first attempt, then a retest, and then that we continue to go lower. So if this is the case, and if we really continue to go lower, where would be the next area of interest? The next area of interest would be down here at approximately 45k to 40k roughly. Because even over here, as we can see, we had some trading volume. We were also consolidating for some time. But for that to happen, we really need to see a strong further push to the downside. And if this is the case, then I think there are no more further obstacles here, as the trading volume was very low in this region, and we definitely could see some wicks down that, but that of course also depends to the overall market situation. All right, could this potentially be in line with previous Bitcoin cycles? Let's have a look at that. So here we are on the Bitcoin chart ever since inception, and we are seeing every single cycle, and every single cycle just followed the same pattern. As you can see, we had here a time frame where we were just pumping, then we had our bear market, and after that we just ended up here in consolidation and slowly continued drifting upwards again. And we also have always approximate time frames. It was always somewhere around 500 days for each time period. And as you can see right there, we are currently just leaving the time period of the bull market. So potentially we could continue seeing now further downside over here as we are entering into the next bear market. All the red lines over here are the Bitcoin halving. So basically where the miner's reward just is being cut in half. And according to this, even if we go not on the logarithmic and just the regular chart, we definitely could still see some further downside. Because even in the last cycle, we had here two tops, then here some further consolidation and capitulation. So Bitcoin just went further down. So right now in last year's cycle, actually it's almost the same. We also had here two tops. So at the moment, well, on this chart, we are still at 108. Let me switch really quick. So now we are in the right chart. So we went all the way down, had some consolidation. Here again, some more consolidation. And potentially we could see some capitulation if we break out from this range area. So now the most important thing in my opinion is if we can hold this range, or if not, then I think we will see some lower prices even down to 40K, somewhere around this region. So as you can see, it doesn't look all too good about Bitcoin. We potentially could continue to consolidate for quite some time, or maybe even go lower. I definitely don't think that we will bounce from this level. And it might also take a few more months until Bitcoin can recover. Because if we also look at the stock market has just made new all-time highs after new all-time highs with very thin volume, which actually could be an indicator that we very soon will see a massive stock market crash, which actually I am expecting to some degree. So therefore, definitely don't buy Bitcoin right now. Wait some months, wait what is going to happen, and then let's see. Alright, so if you liked that video, then please hit subscribe and like for the algorithm. That really would help me and support this channel to grow again. Thank you so much, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.